Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne. Today we are going to be making a shirt. We will be using this type of yarn. It's called ice yarn, and it's recommending you use a 3mm hook and a US size 3, and it's microfiber acrylic. You should have 4 of them. So for me, I'll be using a 2mm hook. So you're going to start by making your slip stitch and then make your first chain, and that's how you make a chain. So you're going to make a chain of 89. After you've made a chain of 89 stitches, you're going to hold the fourth chain from the hook, so count 1 2 3, and on the fourth chain you're going to make a double crochet, and the chain 3 does count as a stitch. You're going to chain 1 and you're going to skip 1 2 3 4. Fifth stitch, you're going to make your very first double crochet. 1 2 3. Then you're going to make a chain of 2, and in the same stitch make double crochet, 3 double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4, and in the fifth chain make a double crochet, chain 2, and make another double crochet, skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4, and in the fifth chain make a double crochet and another double crochet and another double crochet, chain 2, make another double crochet in the same stitch, 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 1, skip 1 2 3 4, in the fifth chain make a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. So you are going to repeat this sequence until you have 5 stitches left at the end here. Just alternate between this cluster of 3 double crochet, chain 2, and chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and always remember to skip 4 stitches. We are at the end of our row. We have 5 stitches left at the end. We're going to skip 1 2 1 2 3 4, and in the fifth chain we are going to make our very last stitches, so double crochet 1 and double crochet to put 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So moving on to our next row, you're going to make a chain of 1 2 3, and in this first chain, in this first stitch, you're going to place a double crochet, chain 1. In this chain 2 space, we are going to be placing 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 2, and place 3 double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 1. In this chain 2 space, you're going to be placing 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet, chain 2, chain 1, skip these, and in this chain 2 space place 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 2, and place 3 double crochets, chain 1, and in this chain 2 space place 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet. So you are going to repeat this until you have only these 2 stitches left. I will meet you guys there. We are at the end of our second row. So we've already made our chain 1 stitch. So on this cluster of chain of double crochet, we are going to insert our hook in the very last stitch and place 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and this is what you should have for your second row. And you are going to repeat this pattern. The whole of the shirt is going to be a repeat of these 2 rows. So after this second row, for the third row you are going to repeat row 1 and vice versa. So just alternate between row 1 and row 2. So here where we have chain 2, we are going to be placing 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 2 and 3 double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 1, and where we have this cluster we are going to make 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and in this chain 2 space we are going to be making 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 2 and 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 1. Where we have this we are going to make double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet chain, just like that, chain 1, and where we have this chain 2 we are going to be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets in the same chain 2 space, and then in this chain 2 space we are going to place double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet, chain 2. So for the pattern of the shirt is going to be a repeat of these 2 rows, row 1 and row 2. You just alternate between these 2 rows. So we are finally done with the back panel. I ended up doing 38 rows. I finished my last row at this point. So what we are going to do, we are going to turn our work like this, and we are going to work our work like this now. So I worked the front panel. This I made a total number of 15 rows. I made 2 of these. I've already attached this one panel, and we are working our work this way, so we'll just attach it the way we've attached this side. So this is our next panel. We are going to attach it from this corner to the other corner. So we are going to count our stitches, our row 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Since we made this front panel to be equally 15 rows, we are going to attach it at the back panel using single crochet. So let's go ahead and do that. I left off a long tail of yarn, so let's get started. On this first stitch, make a slip stitch. So on these double crochet stitches we are going to be attaching them together, and we are going to be placing 2 single crochet like that, and in the next one we are going to attach it to the other part again using single crochet. Attach the other one, the third one, and attach it to the back one using single crochets. And we are going to keep doing this until we are completely done with our 15 rows or our 15 stitches, whatever you want to call them, and you'll do this on both sides. You can sew if you want to. Yeah, I think that may be a bit easier, to be honest. We are completely done with joining the both side. This side we joined 15 and this side we joined 15. That means in the middle we have 8 rows remaining. So we are going to move on to the next part. So we are going to join this side. We finished joining our shoulder. So for the armhole, count 8 clusters of these stitches. So start by counting from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put a stitch marker and do the same on the other side. So what we are going to do for this bottom part, we are going to join it together using single crochets. So take your yarn and make a slip stitch. Attach it at the corner stitch and ensure you are working on the wrong side so that you don't have any issues with your stitches. So let's go ahead and get started. Make a slip stitch. After you've made a slip stitch, make a single crochet in that stitch. So just place random single crochets until everything is joined together, and ensure they are evenly spaced out so that when you turn your work it does not look weird or anything like that. So just keep making single crochets, and we are going to do this until we get to the point where we placed our stitch markers, and we are going to start making the arm area. So this is what you should have. Also, another thing that may be helpful in this, you can try to end your work with the same row so that when you join them you're not having such a hard time like I am. I didn't do that, so here we are, but everything is going to be literally okay. It's no big deal. I'll meet you guys after we are done. So we've turned our work on the opposite side. We've reached the place where we left the space for our armhole. So what we are going to do, we are going to start working the way we were working the pattern initially. So make a chain of 3, and in this very first stitch make a double crochet, and you're going to move to this part, chain 1, and in this chain 2 space make a double crochet, chain 2, and make a double crochet in the same stitch. Move over to this part, chain 1, and in this part make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochet in the same chain 2 space. Chain 1, move to this stitch and make a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, chain 1, move to this stitch, make 3 double crochets, chain 2 and make 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 1 and skip over to this, chain 2, and you're going to make a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet, and you're going to do that. I will meet you guys when we get to where we attached our shoulder. So we are where we attached our shoulder. We're going to chain 1 and skip over to this part, and we are going to make 3 double crochet in the same space, chain 2 and place 3 double crochet, chain 1, and we are going to skip over to this. So this side the stitches are a bit different. So on this stitch you are going to make a chain of 1, chain 2 and make another chain, chain 1, skip over to this stitch, make 3 double crochet in the same chain 1 space, chain 2 and make 3 double crochet in the same chain 1 stitch, chain 1, skip over to this stitch, make 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 double crochet, chain 1, move over to this stitch, make 3 double crochets in the same chain 1 space, make a chain of 2 and in this stitch make 3 double crochets, chain 1. We are almost at the end here. We're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet, and then when you get to the end here, a chain of 1. You see on this very last stitch that we have here, we are going to place 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and this is going to end our row. And after that, on this first stitch we are going to make a slip stitch because I don't want to have any gapping, and also ensure you have equal number of clusters on both sides. So when we move on to the next round, you're going to make a chain of 3, and in this first stitch make a double crochet, chain 1, and in this first chain 2 place 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets in the same chain 2 space, chain 1, skip over to this chain 2 space, place 1 double crochet, chain 2 and place another double crochet, chain 1, skip over to this, place 3 double crochets, so repeat this until you are at this point. Until you are at this point, then I will meet you guys there. So once we get to this point here, we are going to just make a chain 1 and we are going to skip over this, and in the third chain from the hook we are going to place a slip stitch just like that. So we are going to start our third row, make a chain of 3, and in the very stitch make a double crochet, chain 1, and in this first cluster you're going to place a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. So basically for the next 8 rows you're going to make a repeat of row 1 and row 2 until you are done with your 8 rows, and that is inclusive of these 2 rows, and I will meet you guys after you are done. And from this row, this third row, when you get to this point, just make a chain 1, slip stitch in the first stitch, and start making 2 double crochet in the first stitch. And that's the way you're going to do until you are done with your 8 rows, and do the same for the other side of the shirt. So we are going to work the collar because we've already finished making our 2 matching sleeves. We are going to turn our work on the wrong side, and we are going to put stitch marker from where we're going to start and where we are going to end. So how you do that, just count 1, 2, 3, and the space in between. After you've counted 3, put a stitch marker in the chain 1 space. Do the same for the other side, and let's go ahead and get started. And we are working on the wrong side, so start by making a slip stitch, and on this space here where we did put our stitch marker, insert your hook and make a slip stitch. On the same space make a chain of 1, 2, 3, that does count as a stitch. In the same space make a chain, make another double crochet, chain 1. This is going to move us to this space right here. Place 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space, chain 2, and place 3 double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 1, and in this chain 2 space place 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet, chain 1, and this is going to lead us to this shoulder area. So on this space right here you're going to place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and on this other side we are going to be placing 3 double crochets. Then you're going to chain 1 and you're going to place on this space here a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. Skip over to this chain 1 here and place 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Skip over to this part, make 1 double crochet, chain 3, and 1 double crochet, chain 1. Skip over all of these, and on this part right here place 3 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 2, and place 3 double crochets, chain 1, and this is going to lead us to our corner stitch right here. Place 1 double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, just like that. On this chain 2 space, place the same stitch as the previous one, and it's going to move us to our next stitch, this chain 2. So place 3 double crochets, and don't worry if it's similar as the bottom part, that's okay. We are just making the collar really, and the pattern is similar, so there's no big deal. Chain 1, and when you get to the place where you place a stitch marker, place 2 double crochets, and that is the end of our very first row. We are going to remove our stitch markers. So when we get to this point, we are going to chain 3, and we are going to turn our work. So after that, after our first row, every row is pretty similar. When you get to this cluster, just place a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, chain 1. In this cluster, place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochet in the very same stitch, chain 1, we are going to repeat row 1 and row 2 until we have a total number of 8 rows for the collar, and I will meet you guys after that. So we are finally done. I ended up doing 8 rows for the collar, and then for this front part of the shirt, I did 3 rows of single crochets on both sides, and for the bottom part I did a row of single crochet just for finishing purposes. For the sleeves, I added 1 row of single crochet on both the sleeves, and after I had done that, I added just 1 more row of single crochet around the corner, just so that my work can lay flat. Thank you so much for watching. This will fit a size small to medium. Most of the time I prefer things that fit baggy, so this is quite baggy. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate you being here. Kindly comment, share and like, and let me know what you think in the comment down below. Have a good day.